he has such a large impact. They're all very solid players, but Extinct out of the mid lane, he's one of the more aggressive mid laners. He likes to roam a lot, so he'll leave the mid lane, try and pick up kills. His mid Lulu has been just fantastic to watch in the past. I'm not sure that he's still playing it right now, but yeah, he's definitely a really strong player.
So we got LeBlanc, Karthus, and Twisted Fate being banned out here. All bans so far being centered there onto the mid lane. And TF, we've been seeing a lot of bans coming in from him. For both now, it's actually kind of spreading across the world. A lot of TF bans coming in from the Asia servers, but now it's starting to catch on. People recognize he's like, oh yeah, he's really good at that ganking thing. He can do that pretty well. Orianna
Crazy
also being
thing
banned
called
out.
TF, yeah. he's a really strong champion. I was just actually, there was a cool post on Reddit this morning. The guy did a really fantastic job of compiling statistics on, champions that have been playing and then giving his kind of take on it. Some of them I kind of disagreed with, but for the most part, it was really well thought out. And, talking about how TF is a really common pick, but then how champions like Shyvana, we've seen them a lot recently, and, how they've just been doing fantastically. They've been winning a lot of those matches, just really impressive performances. I'm looking up alternate, and actually I can't see any tournaments for them except for several months ago. So they are in the top 8 for the EU circuit, which is definitely going to be cool. I thought they were. So they're potentially going to be moving on with Riot's own league system, but or tournaments for the Season 2 championship, but. I haven't really seen them in a while, so it should be exciting to check this out. And Pharrell and Lord, what he can do as a 2.9K ELO player.
So we got the first few picks coming in, and you know what? It's been we are on the new patch. We are on the what do we call this now? It's kind of, I still feel it strange. Like,
is this the July patch?
The early August patch.
Early August? Okay.
Yeah, because everything was patched last night. So Rumble
did we know it was early August or was it late July? Because this could be very important.
The YouTube video said early August.
Okay, good. Whew, I was concerned because that could be a life or death discrepancy there.
Could be. It very well could be. But here's the thing, though. You have 2 champs that have received nerfs here.
Yep.
In this patch, being still picked up very early on. Rumble did get a damage tweak with his overheating and with the flame spitter.
But that patch didn't actually run yet.
Yeah, I patched as we were logging in.
Oh, really? The patch went up today.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, I patched as we were logging in.
Wow, I didn't realize the patch went up. That's awesome.
So we also have a Yorick here, who also got a little bit of a regen tweak on his E. So he now only heals back half when he uses it on a minion.
Oh, wow. That's a huge change. Yeah, that's definitely going to be interesting to see. I mean, we have a lot of standard picks here. Alistar, Nunu, solid jungle and support combo. And then Rumble, Sona, and Corki, all very strong champions. Sona has been coming back in a very huge way. Has been, just fantastic. Her harass in lane, it's not as strong as it used to be. I mean, it used to just be able to single-handedly win the lane as Sona, but it's still strong. It allows you to win matchups. And then the big thing is the mobility and, disables and whatnot for later in fights. We'll have to see how they go. They might decide to go with someone like Ahri here, would be a strong pick, or if they wanted to go like a Morgana or something. They have a couple of options, but they have the makings of a really strong team. They have a lot of AoE. The key is to get some nice sustained damage as well. Which is why I would probably pick someone like Ahri over Morgana, because Morgana would be a little bit more bursty. But I don't know. We'll have to see who they go with. I do think it's interesting though, talking about the Yorick, regen nerf that you were saying, because that really affects his laning phase.
And, it really does.
Yorick does very well against Rumble for a long time. He's been a semi kind of counter to Rumble. Anivia, fantastic pick. But with that heal, he still is going to be very strong in those 1v1 matchups, but he won't be able to play a defensive lane as successfully. He won't be able to 1v2 bot as successfully, so we might not see as Yorick swapping down bot as often. And if anyone's able to zone him off the lane or anything like that, where he can't use the minions underneath the tower to regen, that could be a dangerous situation. But plants and zombies, we have them. Zira being the last pick, she's been fantastic lately.
And you know what? We've been talking about this pretty much all week so far. Zira is incredibly powerful, but as some champs are when they first come in, and we've been seeing her. We picked or banned every game this week, and I'm surprised that there were really just no changes to her with this patch.
Yeah, well,
So
it's been one patch, so it's hard to make a, Riot doesn't like making quick decisions and just nerfing the champion immediately. They'll wait and see how she does.
so with that though, we have our teams decided, and it's we're just waiting to see too, because we do have an Alistar and there is a Nunu.
Yeah,
Still
it'll probably
not
be
yet.
Alistar jungle.
It'll probably be Alistar jungle. Nunu jungle. Been seeing a bit of it lately. Fantastic with the counter jungling. Just go. It's just like you used to. Just walk up, grab the blue wraith, and just get out of there. Even then, they can still do it. They can just still walk up on their way down the bot lane and just nom the wraith and get on out there.
Well, and the big thing is Alistar Ashe doesn't really make sense as a lane, whereas Nunu can be a very strong support and helps negate some of Corki's damage if they're trying to bruise. But Ashe is a very defensive laner. But then there's no benefit to having Nunu, or there's very little benefit to having Nunu over Alistar in the jungle if you get both of them on your team, because Alistar can just be a faster jungler clearer and more aggressive ganks. He does miss out on some of that counter jungling that Nunu brings, but for the most part, it's just a win-win for them right now. So they have a strong team. Do you happen to know, this is just such a random thought, but the Maokai and Zera secret passive, is that only when they're on the same team?
There was it's only, I think it's only on the same team.
I would hope so, because it's like, if she's buffing her ally. So the secret passive for Zera, there's a couple of them. There's 3 of them. But the Maokai one is like when they're near each other, Maokai gets bonus movement speed.
One
bonus movement speed. But that's still 1 extra movement speed.
It's still 1. If that chase goes on for like a mile, then maybe he'll actually catch up.
If Zera has 550 attack range and Maokai is at 549 range, then in 2 seconds, she won't be able to attack him anymore. Actually, probably after the first attack, the animation will slow her down enough.
Could be.
So that 1 extra movement speed could be key if they have the same movement.
Yeah, and if it does work, if you're on enemy teams.
Right.
So, but there was the 2 others, because a lot of people thought that the other secret passive was actually going to be with Yorick.
Yeah.
But it ended up turning out to be with Scion. So I think he actually does like 1 extra damage or something like that.
That's actually pretty significant.
It is.
1 extra damage can mean a lot, and I mean it's really a minor thing. There's also something with Leona, like if she uses her damage if she has light blind on someone and then Zero uses an ability, then it does more damage or something.
1
like
extra.
That. 1 extra. Okay, yeah. So just 1 extra point. Regardless, should be exciting. And Zera has been incredible recently. We've been checking her out. 2415. That just doesn't match up against Forellan Lord's 2900. I don't even know how he's going to even hope to play this mid lane, but he does have some nice mana regen, some standard runes, 21, 0, and 9. He does have the nice range advantage a little bit, though Anivia, actually their range is about even. Anivia has just fantastic control. What is this?
Check the runes.
For a second.
Check the runes real quick, because so we saw the other day, with the Nivea runes now a little bit common. Now, just depends on playstyle to actually go for those attack damage runes. Is Froggen, I believe, was the one who started that.
Yeah,
one.
no, it was Froggen. He was playing versus Kazakhstan, it was just such a smart decision to go with the attack damage runes. Forellan Lord going heavy into ability power, which is kind of interesting because they already have a high ability power team, and the issue is always going to be that you're going to have Anivia like. All right, so let me compose my thoughts here for a second. Anivia, she's one of the just strongest champions in the game, and she can win almost any fights or anything like that, despite itemization. Like, it's just, you can get any sort of build path for Anivia and be successful. And so, usually for runes and masteries, I would normally expect 1 magic resist for the blues when going against an aggressive laner like Zera, who can throw off that nice ranged harass, and then has persistent damage. If she can egg Anivia, she has the plants to mop her up. So I would expect magic resist there, and I would expect mana regen on the yellows, so that Anivia has a little bit more spam ability. But Anivia going for flat ability power and scaling ability power, which is kind of interesting because they already have a high magic damage team. So I would think that generally speaking, Forellan Lord would be able to itemize into health items like Warmogs and mana regen, like we kind of see usually. But it'll be interesting to see if he's just using it to get like a certain amount of burst. If he like recognizes, okay, at this point in the game, if I have this much ability power, it's going to give me this much burst. So I'm sure he, has clearly thought it through. I'm not saying he hasn't. It's an interesting thought process to me.
Let's just double check on Yorick here. Let's double check the stats on that E to make sure that make sure that we are on that patch. And Actually, no. Maybe the EU has not been patched yet because I don't see the
Yeah, I know the EU is usually patched a day later.
Huh. Then why did I patch then? Weird.
It might have just been like a maintenance thing, but
It
in
could
the
have been.
meantime, Alternate almost getting caught out. Maluno just slightly behind, can't quite catch up to them. Get out of there. All right, they're good. They're good. False alarm, people. But they'll be able to back off and be pretty safe there.
Yep. So, it seems that the August patch may have gone in on the NA, but not quite on the EU. But well, still no, we will see. Just also, let's also double check Rumble here with that. Let's check his passive there just to make sure. And yeah, so I think we may actually still not be.
But Rumble
not be patched
almost getting down. Zinnik, get in the bush. Okay, so I'm a little bit surprised they didn't just dive on him there. They had the damage. If Alistar had just gone in for the Flash Pulverize, they might try and force it, though, when they come over for the blue. So Rumble sitting there indicates that Maokai is going to be coming in, and Pharrell Lord is going to need to check this, but he walks right into the team. He will go down. There's the egg,
Wow.
the first blood, and his ELO, unfortunately, won't save him there.
That's a very quick scrambled egg. Right there, right in the jungle. And not to mention, Pharrell Lord is going to be entering lane without egg.
That is
huge.
This is Pharrell Lord. This is Pharrell Lord on deadness. I don't know. Never mind. But anyway, they will be able to go back. Alistar going to be doing a nice little jungle clear. He's a little bit behind, but the that early pressure is definitely huge. And then Yorick Angish actually doing a really nice job of trying to shut down Maokai a little bit here. And so he's going to slow him down, which gives Nunu a nice advantage. That actually, or sorry, Alistar a nice advantage. That opens up the possibility where Alistar might be able to invade a little bit or just get off some early pressure.
And Anguish, he's still doing a pretty good job there, getting some quick harassing. You also have Zinnik there, getting getting that ward placement while he still can, right there in the opposing tri-brush, just to look for any incoming ganks coming their way. Because sometimes if you get a little bit too pushed out, it becomes a very dangerous spot to try and just leave lane, get that ward into tri-brush, because you put yourself at risk if you're a little bit pushed up. So good on him. You get it down there early. Granted, Alternate does have the wards there in the river, both top and bot of that the bottom section there. So they're right now, Curse.EU, they cannot leave their bot jungle without Alternate knowing about it.
Yeah, so it's a couple of interesting lane matchups. Honestly, I think the Zero versus Nivea one is just like going to fascinate me to no end. Pharrell Lord being behind like that, if Alistar comes in with the Flash Pulverize, he could go down very quickly.
Maluna's there on the side, does have the blue buff. The stun will not hit, but just a little bit of fear. Putting Nivea on her toes. Meanwhile, bot lane, you do have Slepper with the volley, trying to get some quick damage down onto Corki, onto Fish. Not good, again, really low, but you do have Ashe drinking those potions quickly as possible. Slepper still in an okay spot, but remember, this is Nunu. This is not a healing lane. This is not a sustaining lane. Malunu getting really aggressive here, getting ready for the gank here. Top lane is waiting for the wave to push, and there you go. The ghouls come on in. Where's the headbutt? There's the pulverize. Here we go. Moon getting very low at his own tower, and just all this harassment coming from Curse.EU is a wonder.
Yeah, no, they barely can't finish him off, but once the headbutt is back off, the cooldown is up on the pulverize, so he could go in for it. There's the headbutt, not actually going in for it, so just kind of shutting him down here a little bit. Yeah, just toying with him. He can't farm, and it's a big thing. Yorick has a huge early advantage. They're actually going to go in for it now. They might tank this. If Angish tanks it for a second, then they can maybe finish it off, but there it is. Angish is tanking. They get the kill, and then they back out of there.
Very well done. Very well done. And just, Moon is in a very bad spot in a situation that early on. You got Unso there with the sapling, just being annoying. Here, have that. Have a nice little present. But yeah, Moon was in a very awkward position. It's like, well, if I stay, I'm gonna die. If I leave, I'm gonna die. There's really just no escape for him there.
And that's huge because Yorick can be very effective against Rumble. You just have that persistent harass. Rumble's weak in the early levels. Rumble's starting to get to the point where he has enough damage, but really he's at a disadvantage in that lane. And then throwing him back further behind, Yorick, he has a kill here, so he will be able to go back. He has plenty of farm. He's going to be able to get some Maokai. Going
with
on
the
Slepper.
Twisted Advance right there onto Slepper. Real quick kill. Zinnik is looking to just run away, try to get safety back to tower, but you do have the slam. Meanwhile, mid lane, you do have that quick kill. We're going to be going back and looking at that one real quick, because remember, Anivia did not have the egg.
Yeah, so the root from Akeso there, then following it up, they have the easy kill. And,
wow.
The burst and CC from Zera can be fantastic at times. They're able to pressure that really nicely. So now we see Yorick actually coming back, Tear of the Goddess, and almost done the Man Immune. So he's going to be able to get some really nice harass against Rumble and just be fine in that lane. Like, Maluno doesn't really need to pressure that lane much anymore. He could decide to go up there some more for some kills, but he could really just leave Yorick up there on an island, and Yorick will win that 1v1 matchup for the rest of, or for a while at least. Eventually, Rumble has enough damage where he can just charge at Yorick and pick up the kill, but Yorick is at a serious advantage right now.
Yep, and also keep in mind that this is a little bit of a late red for Maluno, but you know it's okay. He got the kills. He's got all the credit to back it up. He's 1-0-2 right now. 6 minutes into the game. He's like, yeah, you know what? That's fine. You can go ahead, take your red a little bit late. It's fine. You have tons of experience. You got tons of gold to go ahead and make up for that.
We'll see how that aggressive Alistar can progress. He's almost level 6, so that'll be huge once he hits that, particularly with bottom lane. Once Ashe hits 6, if they can hit 6 before Sona hits 6, which right now they're on pace to do that, Slepper a little bit ahead there, then you know they could definitely pursue that. A little bit of a timing window there, you know, particularly if they go onto Sona. Sona will go down pretty quickly. She's pretty squishy, but they do have to watch out because Maokai is coming down the river once again. Alistar is not close enough to spot him out.
Oh no, Maluno, he's going back to mid other than going bot, and here goes Slepper's being engaged upon once again. Twisted Advance coming in with the slam, exhaust this time as well, plus the ignite. So many summoners use, they want to deny Slepper as much as possible, just focusing down every single summoner spell, and Zinix just kind of there's going, what the hell.
Yeah, and they have Maokai is a really aggressive ganker. Alistar and Maokai are two of the most aggressive gankers in the game. That's why they've been so popular recently. But to not have any ward coverage against such an aggressive ganker, when you have a defensive lane, Ashe is, you know, she doesn't have any escapes or anything. She just needs vision so she can volley and back a step out. But they're way out of position and don't have any ward coverage, which is kind of surprising early on. So we'll see how that can kind of progress. They do have the ward up here now, so they can watch the entrance if they get another ward down by the Tribush. But I don't know, just really putting themselves out of position, and as a result, early advantages onto alternate. Pharrell Lord will be able to grab that blue, so you know, despite his 0-2 early start, he should be able to farm pretty safely with that range, but he does have to worry about that range advantage, or that range harass from Zera.
You do see, though, that Maluno, with all that gold that he earned on very early on, did pick up a very early Oracle, so now he's starting to do all that ward clearing while he still can. You got 2 wards down, 1 by the tri-ramp. Rumble ult going down on Anguish. Maokai is here with the Twisted Advance. A lot of damage going on. You do have York with the ult on himself, trying to pile on the damage to the tree. Moon is very low as well. They're going to get the kill on York, but the thing is, though, will either one of them actually leave here? Maokai ult going down, protect against the damage, and no, they will both get to safety. Good on alternate.
Yeah, Anguish is like, let me get my last bit of farm right before I die. There you go. Got 3 CS. Yeah, but he almost was able to turn that around. And the pressure on Rumble, again, he was sitting out without any ward coverage as well, but he thought that he had enough of an advantage over Rumble that he could win that 2v1. He almost was able to pull it off, but nice kiting from them. And actually, Sona walking up the oracles for Maluno. It's kind of surprising to go for such an early oracles. And you were talking about how he grabbed that, but it's really nice to have this kind of aggression. They drop another ward, so really can start throwing them behind. And actually, the arrow misses onto Sona. That was the perfect time for it, too. If she had hit, then Sona would have gone down.
It's still a 3v2 for the time being, though, down bot. And Maluno just maybe staying down here is like, well, if you're going to put a ward, I'm going to be here and keep clearing it. You're just giving me free money. So we may see the Alistar camp out bot for a little bit, just for a little babysit time, you know, considering what's been happening recently. But meanwhile, you also have Brown Lord there trying to deal with all of these plants. And we'll see also back top lane, Anguish doing what he can against Moon. It's a little bit, you know, they've had their trades. They've gone back and forth. You do have Rumble with the lucky pick and the Ninja Tabby, but right now Anguish trying to get as much damage as he can. And very soon, though, with that early Manamune, he may be able to just dive in a few levels straight out.
Yeah, I mean, he just has so much damage to bully around Rumble, which is just huge for them to be able to shut down Rumble's early game. Ashe does not have the arrow up. There's still like 30 seconds left on it, but Alistar is making his way down bot. There it is, the ward from Sona. She knows to back up for a second, so they're going to be okay.
Just feeding the wards to the Alistar, you might as well. So it's like, well, I guess I don't need these wards. Just take my money, please.
Take my money.
Take my money.
Please.
Take it. Take it all.
Yeah.
So I don't want these wards anymore. Just have a snack.
They have a really nice advantage, and actually they might go for this dragon. Zinnik, you know, with his consume, he does give them a nice little advantage there, but they're not going to go for it. You know, it would be kind of dicey. They don't have Alistar and Nunu, other than Nunu's consume, they don't really have the most damage. But Anivia actually throwing off some damage on the Maluno does catch him out with this ward. Oh, he just barely wants to get it. There's the wall.
There we go.
So they finally pick it up.
aggressive ward clearing coming in from Curse. But here's the thing, though. With all the wards that Maluno's actually taken out, he's more than already paid for that Oracle. So he's taken out at least like 5 or 6 of them. And remember, when you buy in Oracles, you're trying to take out as much of the enemy income as you can. So about like 5 or 6 wards.
And they keep on spending the money. They are just like piling all their gold into wards.
Yeah.
So right now it's a 2K gold advantage for Curse, but then you factor in, okay, Curse, they've spent about 1,000 on oracles and wards, and Alternate has spent like 1.5K to 2K on wards. So it's even a further advantage for Curse, being able to clear out so many. Maokai and Maluno going to duel it out a little bit, and so he actually has a little bit of an oracles himself. He doesn't want to allow Curse to have that map advantage and allow Alistar to get those aggressive ganks if he's not going to be able to reciprocate.
Yep. So for it's going to be ward wars essentially for the next few minutes until one of these junglers. Until one of these junglers unfortunately dies. If either one of them dies, big if, because these are 2 relatively tanky dudes. I mean, Alistar is 6.
Yeah.
You have the ult. You also have Maokai with his ult for all that damage reduction. It's unless they get caught out, it's going to be a little bit difficult to try and take him out in these team fights, which you did see on Maluno as he was trying to take out the ward by the Anivia. He did get chunked out pretty huge, so you may also just go for the plant those wards in a nice little line, just draw them into a trap there. The nice little the little piece of candy play.
Yeah, no, that's always a fun little exercise. I'm just imagining like them actually seeing them dropping the wards, and they just drop them in a line, like walking right into a bush.
Yeah.
And it's like Hansel and Gretel dropping breadcrumbs kind of thing. But again, another gank up top. Moon, they're going to dive him for a little bit. Anguish, he does have that red buff. He does have some great damage. Moon dropping very quickly, and Anguish is fine to back off.
Okay.
Oh, barely picking up the kill. They are able to grab that.
It was like just waiting for that last tick of the ignite to actually go. It's like, is that actually going to happen? Is he really going to live? No, never mind. But he got that kill, and that is one of the biggest advantages about having Alistar in the jungle is the fact that the ganking paths you have. So you have so many more options available to you because you have that displacement in the headbutt, because you have the ult to protect you from things like turret shots. It helps so much, but you do have Zira, Alistar, and Yorick here trying to steal that blue, and Alistar does grab it, but Unso is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Flash over the wall from Anguish. He wants to take out that Oracles, but he's going to get chunked out huge himself. The Ignite may very well take him out, and there you go, Pharrell Lord grabbing that red buff on him too.
Yeah, getting a little bit excited there. They were able to hold on to the blue, but giving up the red buff to Anivia, that can be kind of dangerous because Anivia has 500 attack range, so a lot of her harass combos with her attack. But actually, Maluno coming in, the headbutt coming right over the Flash Frost is able to get in there. The snare just barely missing as Pharrell Lord gets off his flash. So really nice play, able to back off.
Yep.
But I don't know, we'll see how effectively he can use it. The arrows coming in, Pharrell Lord just barely missing. Wow, that would have been a kill.
Snap response.
That was insane. And Maluno, he was ready for it. He was going to follow up.
You have Akka there with the ult ready to go as well, just in case it hit. But that is the advantage of the Asher. You can just fire it off whenever. Headbutt possible? No, just a little bit too late. The Valkyrie forced it out of there, and Maluno's just trying to come on, go for this. You want to attack this?
You can see they don't have any ward coverage or anything. It was a last-second dodge from Pharrell Lord.
It was.
He just dipped out of it right at the last second.
Like,
really impressive play. Like that's where I'd be like AFK and looking at my base. But Maluno walking right in, gets the pulverize. Oh, he's going to go down. Oh, the barely getting the flash over. The wall off. Pharrell Lord's trapping himself here, but Zinnik is getting very low. They have Slepper with response. Corki and Sonar out of the situation. One more attack. They can't quite pick up the kill.
Nice.
There it is. The volley grabs Pharrell Lord, but he has to get out of here quickly, and it seems that he will be okay.
I thought Maluno was going to lose that Oracles. I really thought, that could have been disastrous. But Curse manages to make it out of there, getting the one kill and walking away. That was very,
This is an
Very good
awesome
coordination.
game.
This is a
And
great
you
one.
know, I love Zira. Everything about her is just really cool. And one of the nice things with Zira is, like Heimerdinger, the objective control is always fantastic on these, these kind of champions. So the turrets for the dragon earlier, the turrets right now, they have like 100 damage, so they add significantly to the dragon. They add significantly to the blue. You can take your own blue. You can't quite be as abusive with them as you could with Heimerdinger, but you can later on, you can solo the Baron. That's the thing that I keep on mentioning because I want to make sure that people, recognize you can actually solo Baron as Zira and you don't draw aggro with your turrets, so you can do that. But
Yeah.
I'm still waiting. I'm glad that they at least don't have the mechanic that Heimerdinger used to have, where Heimerdinger, because Zira's, trees, they die pretty quickly. Heimerdinger used to be, you still can actually, you can just drop your turrets over the wall, and then when the blue spawns, your turrets just take the blue for you, and the enemy team is just none the wiser for it. So fortunately, Zira isn't quite that broken and able to do that, but Pharrell and Lord getting very close. Maluno trying to engage.
Nice headbutt through the wall, manages to get the bird in place and real quick kill. Yaaka doesn't even need to go past the wall. Just need to throw down the plants right from behind, and there you go. You're easy, you're fine. Nice quick kill coming in once again from Curse onto the Anivia.
Their burst CC is fantastic.
It is.
Be able to chain CC, that's one of the strengths of Zira, but then having the Alistar jungle to combo with that is absolutely incredible. And despite the early advantages for Alternate, despite, I mean, Anivia did go down pretty early, so that was a disadvantage. But bot lane, they were able to take advantage of them some, and they haven't been able to follow up on it. Whereas Curse, they've been piling on advantage in the mid and in the top, and they've been translating it into snowballing the rest of the map.
There is, remember though, there is still the oracles on both of these junglers. It's going to be a huge trial to try and just get one of them out. And whichever one does fall first, that team, they're going to have a huge
Zira's here, though.
You do have the hawk shot, seeing everyone there in that tri-brush. And EU, Curse.EU looking to go ahead for another dragon attempt.
Oh, Sona's gone!
Arrow, Sona's out of there.
Wow.
Arrow just for the insurance, just in case. That is the burst damage capability here from Curse.EU. This is absolutely huge. Realm Lord does get the stun down onto Nunu and onto the Alistar, but there's only so much that can be done there. Throwing down the ult just for a little bit of damage, just for a little bit of slow, but everyone from Curse can just go ahead and back off pretty easy. And now Anguish is here to join the party as well.
And Zira killed her with just her E. She didn't need her ultimate. Maluno engaging. Corki does actually get some vision of him. There's the headbutt pulverized. They'll want to back out of here. Yorick is forcing the fight as well, but Maokai engaging in the middle of the team is able to pick up the Nunu kill. They are all very low. Maluno does go down, so he has lost that Oracles, but can they turn this around? They have the damage. Ash is in here with the slow. Maluno jumping on as the Ghost, actually. There he goes, finally going down, and they're not able to pick up a kill off of that.
The Ghoul does work pretty well on someone with a lot of CC, like Alistar. He still managed to get that one pulverize still in, but unfortunately not able to capitalize on another kill off of that. There you go with Sona with the ult, and Anguish is just going to be melting under the pressure. Moon out in front, throwing down those flames and the spears. There you go. Another quick kill coming in for Alternate, and it was a really extended fight.
Yeah.
And
Oh, the Flash Sona ultimate was
the Flash
very
Sona
cool.
ult was great, but I'm just thinking about when should have Curse just backed off completely from that fight.
Well, see, they still had Zira, and everyone was really low on Alternate. Everyone was pretty low on Curse, but they thought they were okay. They had the range advantage with Ash and Zira, where they could hold off any attempts from Alternate to engage. So in their mind, if Alternate was ever to force a fight on them, they would have to run right into Zira and die, and they would have to run right at them, and Curse would be able to just kite them very easily, which is one of the strengths of both Zira and Ash. I don't think they were expecting the Flash Sona ultimate. It was a really nice play from Noah Fiel. He was able to take advantage of that situation there. And, Zira is still high health. I don't know. They were just hoping to pick people off. So, unfortunately, it turned against them. Both teams are incredibly strong, though. 6K gold advantage for Curse, despite a number of kills recently for Alternate, trying to get themselves back into play. For Ellen Lord, he does have a Rod of Ages, though, so he's getting kind of tanky. He has a lot of ability power, with those Runes and Masteries, and then that Rod of Ages right now.
Yep, and it's also always kind of silly. It's like, oh man, I thought we killed you first in that fight. You mean this fight went long enough? Yeah. For the Sona, who died very first, right there, right before the dragon was even, finished. The fight went long enough for her to actually come on back and just walk on in and ult.
Oh, that's right. Did Sona die at the?
Yeah, the very first death, right before that dragon.
That's right before the dragon. That's right. Yeah, that's kind of depressing almost, but
a little bit.
Zera just absolutely fantastic so far. 5-0-1, 60 CS over Pharrell and Lord as Anivia. And Anivia, you know, once you have the blue, the AoE clearing, it's really easy to farm. So there you see the power of Zera. I liken her to Orianna. I think they have a very similar playstyle. They have great lane control. They have great farming. They have great kiting potential with their E, but they also have a little bit of burst. And I think Zera, her chain CC is just so much stronger. So it's like she's almost like a stronger version of Orianna. Orianna has some nice advantages to her over Zera, like the shield and a little bit better kiting potential. But having CC outside of the ultimate is awesome, and then the ultimate is just like icing on the cake.
I'm also realizing that Curse is itemizing a little bit better than Alternate is, and a lot of that is, you know, because of the income. Because you look at Alternate right now, it's kind of a little bit of a mishmash of items. Zinnik walking right in through, checking that bush with his face, and will he actually get out of there? No, but the Ash Arrow coming on in to Fish. He's still in the bush, still has that red buff. Meanwhile, you got Akka right there on the ramp, dancing with the Sona ult. Will actually go down. Curse is a little bit split here. Maluna caught out. He does have the pulverize. He will throw that down. Will he flash over the wall? Yes. Save that Oracles. Will you be able to? Ward going down behind the ridge for Elnord. Yeah, there you go.
Don't lose the second one.
Do not lose that one.
And it's astounding right now. Alternate, they are 6k gold behind, but they have great CC. They have great fight control. And then Corki's doing pretty well for himself. So he's, you know, he hasn't finished Infinity Edge yet, so he is, you know, still behind, but he still has plenty of damage, particularly with the red buff. They're able to chain CC members. And part of the issue is that Curse is allowing themselves to get caught out of position.
Yeah.
And they don't have good ward coverage in the jungle, and they're trying to sit there and plant those wards, but as a result, they're just putting themselves out of position and keep on dying when they have the lead and should be trying to press their advantage.
Yeah, and Alternate, they can not only can they chain CC, they can chain CC in an AoE. Because you have the wall, you have that slow from Anivia, the Sona ult, the Rumble ult. That is a lot that can happen in a very wide area. And even then, though, that's more than enough. More than enough to keep someone still. If you get caught out like Zinnik there behind the wall, he was just trying to show his face just a little bit, possibly an errant snowball. But here's the thing, Curse, they're trying to grab that Baron. He's getting pretty low, but Curse has no option right now but to back off. The pressure is just a little bit too great, and they are split up right now. Alistar and Zera are away from the team. Slepper out in front. Something worse, very much worse, could be happening right there. But unfortunately, just a few spears to the face, and then Rumble will back off.
Yeah, kind of a dangerous situation that they were in, but there's actually 2 wards in that bush. That's interesting. Kind of a dangerous situation, but they have great kiting potential with both Ashe and Zera, and there's not a very good hard initiation from Alternate. If they, you know, from a distance, like they need someone like a Flash Sona or a Flash Maokai even.
They got the Rumble
would be better. Yeah, the Rumble ult can, you know, keep Ashe in place, and that's definitely a really nice situation to be able to. It does help force a fight, but you know, we'll see. I'm a little bit surprised they couldn't try and force it, but we'll see if they have an engage here.
You got Sona and you got Nivea there leading the pack with Alternate there. Trying to find something. Everyone's dancing around the Baron. You see all of those seeds being planted by Zera right at the gate of the Baron. Just in case if they get their opportunity, if they're engaged upon, that is a lot of turrets that can be putting down a lot of pain. Nice wall all the way across the river, and Malunu's actually separated from the rest of the team. So if there's going to be engagement, it's going to be a little bit awkward. Arrow coming on in. Corki, he does get the brunt of that, and there's the Stone Ult coming in. Nuno ult just to keep people away. Malunu and Anguish are right out there in the front. Maokai going to be going down along with the Sona Moon. He is exhausted, trying to get that kill on the Slepper. Was ignited, but there you go. Trade for trade. There you go. Anguish and Fish looking to trade here. Still putting down the pain. Ignite going in. Will Anguish live? Yes, there you go. That is a 2 for 4 at the moment. And Pharrell Lord in the bush looking to recall.
Yeah, but Rumble doing a really nice job taking out Slepper. So if Moon wasn't able to finish that up, then they might have had the damage to, you know, maybe press a tower or pressure Baron, but they just don't. So they will have to back off. A minor victory for Curse, but not really anything that's going to that significant that'll push them into the later portion of the game.
Yeah.
They do get the blue though, so that's, you know, that's something to hang their hats on. You know, that'll be nice for Anguish, but then also trying to shut down Pharrell and Lord a little bit.
Yeah, so as soon as everyone's back up, they're just going to be making another beeline straight to the Baron, just so they can do this whole madness again. Ultra's just going to try their luck, see if they can't do something a little bit better with the attempt number 2. But you do have Pharrell Lord top lane looking to farm, going to clear that creep wave. Slepper's also down bot lane because he have a nice little wants to push the lane there to see if the creep wave can't go ahead and start plugging away at that tier 2. But vision on Slepper bot may be an indication for Alternate to go ahead and push elsewhere, like Dragon.
Yeah, and that last fight was kind of interesting, but actually Valkyrie from Corki, Kai'Sa goes down immediately, so they are able to pick up that kill. Just insane burst damage and getting caught out once again. Another member of Curse kind of throwing away this lead. It's still a 6k gold advantage. It's been holding pretty constant recently, but Anguish walking in, the Maokai twisted advance. They are forcing a fight here. He does have his ultimate up, but he is getting kind of low. Actually, Unso has to back out of there, so Curse doing a nice job stalling here.
Anguish and Luno trying to 2v5 here, but Zinnik and Slepper are here on the back end. Sona does go down in the fight, and Anguish looking to tank all 4 members of Alternate here. In the meantime, you do have Anivia trying to escape, trying to get away, but there the pulverize will slammer into the ground. No more egg. Twisted Advance going to go ahead and keep the Yorick still, but he does use the ult on himself, looking to still get the slows down and get the damage onto Moon. Will get the Rumble kill and is charging front first into the tower, trying to get the Corgi kill, but no, Twisted Advance will keep him still as his ultimate ends.
Yeah, actually interesting because Anguish, he would have been okay. He would have survived, but suiciding in was able to pick up the kill onto Rumble. So, you know, probably definitely worth it in the end. So, I mean, he's fine with exchanging his life there, you know, just to get that ghoul up and then get them that advantage. So, Slepper was okay in that fight. And even without a Kai'Sa there, they were able to burst him down. And I think a big part of it is that Pharrell Lord, with this high AP build, he has a lot of AoE damage. In the previous fight at Baron, he had his AoE on top of the entire team, and they were all just standing in it. Slepper eventually, you know, was able to cross off, but Pharrell Lord was able to get a lot of damage on them just from the ultimate, which you usually don't expect to be a high damage dealer for Anivia in fights. That fight, though, they were all kind of broken up. It was more disorganized. The AoE for Alternate couldn't quite hit, and they were able to pick apart members of Alternate one by one.
So you do see Curse, they're looking, they're still creeping around the Baron area. Pings are going down from Alternate into the pit, seem to be just getting some ward coverage. They do have a little bit, but look, again, all these seeds being camped on in. You do have the Nunu ult, keeping Sona still just for a minute. Zinnik getting a little bit harassed down there, but that's one less ult you're going to be having for a massive team fight if it does happen to come up. He is 11 though. It is level 2. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter cooldown, but it's just a matter of what does Alternate want to press this. But you do have 4 seeds in the pit. Look at all those little
5,000, 4,000. Baron is dropping very quickly.
There you go. You have the Rumble ult coming in. Zyra ult just out in front, getting Unso pretty caught. There is the Sona ult going down as well. And there you go. Curse.EU will grab that Baron. Slepper's going to get caught out, though, and the Flame Spitter is going to be a little bit too much to handle. You got 3 members of Curse still up versus 3 members remaining from Alternate. But there, Zyra will die there. 2 versus 3. Alternate, yeah, they got the more kills there, but Curse did manage to get the Baron. It's kind of a strange situation, but Curse still has a massive gold lead.
Yeah, getting the Baron, it does increase their gold advantage and whatnot, but they were out of position, so they lost the fight really quickly. If Alternate picks up another one, that would be devastating, but they will be able to pick up a turret pretty easily here with both Pharrell Lord and Fish. They should be able to pressure that. We'll see whether or not Maluno can kind of get them out of there. Anguish coming around the backside will try and dissuade them a little bit, but they should be okay. But there's the headbutt pulverize. Fish dropping very quickly, so all of that damage onto Corki. One more attack, they're able to pick it up, and Anguish wants to get out of there. He has to deal with Pharrell Lord, but another kill, a double kill for Yorick. The burst just not quite enough. No, but now he's running in between Maokai. Maokai does take him down, but the wall off for Pharrell Lord.
Flash
actually
over.
Double flash. They're trying to chase him down. The snowball from Nunu does hit. They're just barely not in range. Ash, the arrow will be up in about 15 seconds, so they will have the follow-up on this fight.
Shirelias has come back up, and there's the pulverize to go ahead and help out with that kill. Nunu's and give him credit for it in the end. Zinnik still out in front. Blood Boil still available, and he's using it on the Alistar whenever he can. You got to catch up. You got to get that CC pulverize once again, and the ace coming in from Akka. Very well done. That could have been, wow.
Yeah, no, that was astounding, and that's one of the strengths of Yorick. He's so takey later in the game. He's great at chasing down people out of position and just diving right into them. Anguish, just no fear, picks up a double kill. He does go down, but he stopped them from going back. He stopped them from taking the tower as well. So no advantages for Alternate, and Curse is able to turn it around. Massive advantage for them. Really nice play. Kaiso going to be taking that. Wow, the blue drops so quickly to those little seedlings. But I don't know, he's very powerful at this point. He has plenty of damage. They still need to watch out that they have, the kind of fight that they want. They force the initiation, and don't lose any more of these fights to Alternate. But in the meantime, Alternate on the other side, they are 10k down, but they can hold off pretty successfully with Anivia. Anivia is one of the best champions in the game at stalling, but actually Yorick and Ash almost diving Rumble there, so they can hold off well with Anivia to stall the game a little bit until they're deeper into their item builds, and then they have great AoE damage, they have great AoE control, and then Corki is fantastic in the late game.
The best thing Alternate can do right now is try and single out and try and catch people away from the team. Try and single people out. They do have all the tools necessary to do it. Oh, Ash Arrow coming in. The flash from Moon will still not be able to escape it, but Anguish out in front, a little bit separated from the team. Pops heal on himself. He's going to suicide in. You do it with the Zero ult, popping everybody up, and Slepper looking to clean up here. More kills coming on in. Rumble, Anivia, Maokai down, and that is going to be the ace for Curse, and they can just walk on through the base and take out everything from here.
Yeah, they have so much follow-up CC and such great initiation that Alternate, they're trying to kite in the fights, and you saw there they were able to pick off Anguish very quickly and continue to kite, so it almost worked out for them, but then barely getting caught in the massive AoE from Zira. It did pull them back, and then Anguish, he's not that concerned about dying. He's just using his ultimate on himself so that he can force the fight. He forces Alternate to sit in one place, allows his team members to catch up to them. They will be able to take the inhibitor really close to taking the Nexus as well. They're going to be able to drop these turrets very quickly.
Unso is back up. It's going to be a few more seconds till all of Alternate actually comes back up, but both Nexus turrets will go down. Will they continue to press it? No. Play it safe. Back off. Go back, heal, buy, all that good stuff. But in the meantime, though, Alternate do have to defend against this push, and also this leaves them open. If an inhibitor is down, Curse can just stroll on in, focus down the Nexus if they're unguarded, and just win straight on out. Like just Nunu Ash run a stealth mission, Metal Gear Solid style, and just go grab it, snipe it out, and win.
Get some Mission Impossible music going on.
Might as well. They very well
Wait,
could.
that's not Mission Impossible. That's Beverly Hill Cops or whatever. That was way off.
Wow.
Yeah, but we'll see if they run stealth ops. They really don't need to. They can just bully their way in and continue to control the fight. And honestly, Zira could just take it with her plants. So
she could. Yeah, I forgot about
sit
that.
Outside of range, and she'll just keep on dropping plants. And Alternate will be like, "Wow, this stinks." But
that's the thing with those seedlings too, though, is that, well, granted, yes, you can do crazy things like take Baron without grabbing aggro, but if the map control from the enemy team, if they're just not aware of something like that, and because it's going to take a while on its own. She's only one champion, but still, though, if your control of the map is that low, you kind of deserve it.
Yeah. But so far, really nice play from Curse. They do pick up the Dragon, just continuing their little advantage there. Want to make sure they can get everyone maximum XP. Anguish just roaming. He's a killer. He's a stone cold hunter. He wants to pick someone off. Just getting some damage over the wall into Corki. He does kind of get himself caught out, though. Lord with the wall. He could go down before the rest of his team engages, gets the flashback, but there's the arrow into Fish. They have the follow-up. Corki has to back out of there. The Sona ultimate for Lord will control the front line pretty decently, but they have to deal with Zira now, and Zira is absolutely destroying them. Slepper will turn it around, pick up the kill into Rumble. The two remaining members very low, just barely not able to pick them up, but the flash from Maluno, he grabs Anivia.
Nice.
Really nice job, and now the Nexus will go down. Curse will take game number 1. Alternate just, falling behind very quickly to Curse's really aggressive play, and Akeso subbing in nicely for Extinct.
It's doing pretty well. It's not doing too bad, but here we go. The Nexus is exposed. Slepper, Malunu, they're all here. Go and get those seeds down into spawn, and that is all she wrote. GG, game 1. Going to be going to Curse.EU. Very well done. And, I mentioned it yesterday, too. Going to mention it again today. Probably going to see the Zero ban for the rest of the day.
Now, Zira and Alistar, I mean, Alistar's, easy first pick material. Both teams had some really strong champions.
Yeah.
But, I know Curse did a really nice job controlling the fights, and it's astounding how much damage Zira has. So, they just have the constant follow-up magic damage. They don't have to worry about, Ashe, how Ashe isn't, the strongest early game carry. Ashe has CC, but not really great damage follow-up. They don't have to worry about the fact that Yorick has, sustained damage, but low burst, and it's just kind of there. But they had plenty of damage to go around. They had the chain CC. Really nice play. 11-4 and 11-0 with 270 CS. I always, from now on, I want to just name an MVP every game. So I enjoy the MVPs. We'll say Zira MVP. Really nice job there.
It's a pretty huge goal total. That's a lot of stats. It's a lot of items. It's a lot of damage. And damn, those plants can hurt if you are unprepared, out of position. It could be a really bad situation. But with that, we're going to go ahead and look to get game number 2 organized and underway. In the meantime, we're going to be going over to a quick commercial, and we will be back. IPL Elites continue, round of 8, Curse.EU versus alternate game 2, coming on up.
I will say, though, while we're going to commercial break, guys, go to ign.com/IPL, go to our headlines, and then search for the news. It's actually kind of buried now. But
just go to the news page.
Yeah, go to the news page. It's on the right side under headlines. You click there. 5 $50 RP cards are being given away. We will link that into the chat so you guys can check that out. But we will be back shortly.